Yeah, I know it's stupid, but I just gotta see it for myself. I'm in the corner, yelling DY to Ozuna. Oh, I'm right over here watching Rhys bat slam. Oh, I'm over here watching Strider crumble like a graham cracker. Oh, I'm over here watching Freeleaf after 3 innings. Oh, do I need to continue roasting your poverty franchise? No. But I will keep going because you blew it so hard. Oh, so tomahawk chop all the way home. And we'll keep dancing on our own. Yay! Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia. I'm your host, Riley Rich. Let's go! No, that's another fly ball to center field. Garcia going back to the track. Leaping, it's gone! That one has enough distance to get out. We got so... You are listening to the It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia podcast, covering the Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Penn State Nittany Lions football team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of IASSP, Riley Rich. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia, with an accent, I guess. And I have no idea how, and I have no idea why, but apparently the Phillies season is not over. I'm your host, Riley Rich, and today we will be talking about the Phillies NLDS win over the rivals, the Atlanta Braves. The only bad thing about that was that we couldn't even savor it for 3 hours before the Padres beat the Dodgers, which we're fine with. We're fine with that. But, it would have been cooler if we had the spotlight for like a whole day. That would have been nice. But oh well. So yeah, we're here to talk about the NLDS, the NLE's NLDS, that is. Before we get started, make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you listen. I don't know if I formally announced that we hit 1,000 over homecoming. I know I said we were close, but we did. I set that second goal of October 7th. We hit it on October 7th. So thank you guys so much for that. It means so much, and you guys have actually been doing so well that, well, this is coming on the 19th, and I am aware that it is late. I understand. But on the 18th, we did hit 1,100, so thank you guys for that as well. So that is, if you're keeping track, if you could do simple math, that is 100 plays over 11 days. 9% of our total listens have been over the last 11 days. So that is a sign of progress, and we should hopefully be getting used to that. Yep, so make sure to follow, subscribe wherever you listen. YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all of those places. Merch, you guys know where to get merch. It's bonfire.com/store/IASSP-merch. There is new merch, and I'm not talking about the pitching one. I will show it on my screen right now. Yes, I have finally made some with my face on it. Aren't you so happy? Again, I ride with Philly Riley. If you guys don't get it, it's from an I Ride with Philly Rob shirt. I'll show that too. But even if you're not a Phillies fan, which I put in cursive text right on the top, but I Ride with Philly Riley merch. I thought that would be awesome, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So again, if you want that, that's bonfire.com/store/IASSP-merch. And I know my schedule is very delayed, and I understand that. And I know that you've been missing a ton of Eagles episodes. And you're wondering, you're looking at me and saying, Riley, where the hell are my Eagles episodes? Guess what, buddy? They're never coming. Ha! Ha! Yeah. Shocker. The Eagles fluked their way over the Jags and Cardinals and won the Cardinals game on a missed field goal and, got some picks against Jacksonville and took control of that game in the second half. Are you happy? This is my channel. I get to make the rules here. And get used to that authority. So after that, with all that being said, let's begin. We're going to start, of course, the way that all series start. We're going to start with Game 1. Now, this came on a Tuesday afternoon in Atlanta. Again, the rotation was a little bit messed up. So, of course, we played 2 games. We were expecting Ranger to go Game 3 of the Cardinals game, but because we won so easily, bad voice crack, that was terrible. But because we won the wildcard series so easily, we got to start Ranger against the Atlanta Braves. And, well, let's just say this game could have been better. It could have been better for Ranger. I remember hearing a story about when Ranger Suarez was signed out of Venezuela. And then in his age 18 season, congratulations, MLB, you're not taking kids at 16. In his age 18 season, he pitched 70 or 80 innings, which is a full season for them. 1 walk. And he's been able to keep that success throughout the majority of his career. Well, he didn't have that control in Game 1. He went a 3 1/3, which again is really, when you consider the fact that postseason innings, budget innings, are so dropped, and I understand that they've been going up recently. I do understand that. Everybody's going 7, which is not usually something you see. Usually you see the highest a starter goes 6. You don't really see that much trust. Also, I'm just going to say this now. Sorry if I keep looking over to the side. I have Game 2 of the NLCS going, so that's why I will be looking to the side. But, and I understand that everybody's going 7 now, but it's the postseason. Thompson is going to be, less risky. So if he sees that Ranger is giving up 5 walks over 3 1/3, he's going to pull him. 3 hits and a run isn't that bad, though. 5 strikeouts as well. Again, not many walks, but also not many strikeouts. That's usually his game, but, that's fine. It's not like Max Fried did any better. He also went 3 1/3. He gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Not really a ton of home runs. In fact, no home runs. This is what happens when the Phillies rally. Do you guys remember Season 1? If you boys, if anyone has been here since Season 1, congratulations. You deserve that. Thank you for sticking with me after all this time through my cringe. But you will understand, or you will remember, that I talked about station-to-station offense, where I wanted the Phillies to get runners on and drive them in with runners in scoring position. I might have even talked about that a little bit at the start of this year, where we talk about station-to-station offense. Well, that is exactly what the Phillies did in Atlanta. And you know what's even better about this? It's even better this go-around because they did it with 2 outs. And not only that, to add on to that already continued success, they did it early. First off, Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos was somehow able to do something with his life. He had 3 RBIs in Game 1, which, yay, you're finally earning that $19.75 million contract that you signed. What, should I throw you a parade or something? Congratulations, buddy. Nick Castellanos with a base hit. Alec Bohm with a base hit. And then, of course, you got the typical Braves home run, or the typical opposing home run. That's going to happen a lot. But those came with 2 outs. And then you go, you got those 2 with 2 outs in the top of the first. And then Darno homers in the bottom of the first. And then you come back in the top of the third, 2 outs again Wait, no, not 2 outs, obviously, because Bohm had the sac fly. That made it 2 outs, and then Segura with a base hit. He drove in a run. That made it 4-1. And then top of the 4th, another 2-out opportunity. And you have 2 run. As I clearly can't see that. You have bases loaded, and Castellanos drives him in with a 2-run base hit. Boom. In 4 innings, it's 6-1, and 5 of those 6 runs come with 2 outs. That totally kills the momentum of any team you're playing. And then just add on Sosa, make it 7-1, which thanks God he did that with the sac fly. Darno, the double, the bottom of the 5th, got one rack, and then Matt Olson with an absolute bomb into the trees in center field, which got it close, but, it didn't really do much at the end. Andrew Bellotti finished off the 4th. He gave up 1 hit. Other than that, was very solid. He got a strikeout. Very nice slider. Connor Brogdon pitched 10th of an inning. He got it roughed up a bit. The best part about that, he could just get out and go up the next one. Brad Hand shuts it down, gets out of the 5th with the lead, thankfully. And then Dominguez pitched 2 innings. He got 3 strikeouts. You'll be hearing that name again. Jose Alvarado, you'll be hearing his name throughout. I'm actually just going to pull up the stat right now. Jose Alvarado got optioned to AAA Lehigh Valley on May 27th. He has a 2.09 ERA in 47 appearances since his return on June 12th, including the postseason. That is, cite your sources, Todd Zaleski. Todd was the man. Alvarado with another scoreless inning. And then Zach Eflin might have given up a home run, but he's able to rebound, get the final out. Castellanos with a huge diving catch. I'm very surprised that he can do that defense thing. That's not something you see often from him. I'll say that. Not something you see often, but a great play by Castellanos, and that helped him shut the door. As for the Braves, you saw a little bit of Jesse Chavez. Dylan Lee is someone that they've been relying on this whole series. I have no idea why he's been getting that many starts. Colin McHugh, 1 inning and a third, and Jackson Stevens went 2 innings and finished the game up for the Braves. But that early station-to-station offense from the Phillies shut the door in Game 1. You were rolling right after that. And you go to Game 2, and what's that? Your offense completely shuts down in Atlanta. All right. All right, another 3-hit game. See, this is the problem with the Phillies, that they're never consistent ever. Never, ever consistent on offense. They go from 7 runs to 3 hits way too many times. This probably happens 5 times a month, and it's really annoying. Zach Wheeler. On paper, Zach Wheeler had a decent start. On paper, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Let me just state for everyone. Zach Wheeler had a great 5 innings and a terrible 6th inning. Now, I know a few of you are going to be looking at me, and probably in the YouTube comments, although no one comments on these, and say, well, Riley, that whole inning spiraled off of Rhys Hoskins' play at first, or lack thereof. Like, he should be making that play DFA. Okay. Rhys slid for that ball, tried to knock it down. It was hit so hard that he had to slide to attempt to knock it down. He could not play that normally. That is not Rhys's fault. And even if it was, which I will entertain that thought for a second or two, because this is a pessimistic Phillies channel. Why did Wheeler go away from throwing his curveball? I'm just going to say that. Context. Batter is Matt Olson. Matt Olson is the batter. There is a runner on second. And Wheeler has him down 0-2. He went high with 2 sinkers. Kind of missed, if I'm going to lie. Definitely not where he wanted those pitches. But that's where he was throwing it the whole time. And so we went high. as a rational person on this planet, you would assume that the next pitch should be, I don't know, just straight down. Maybe change the eye level. And I'm not saying the pitch was low. It's the fact that the pitch was inside. You're bringing in a whole nother dimension that you didn't have to. And the problem is the slider coming in is so much easier to see. Way easier to see. So Olsen, of course, was able to lay off like 2 of those. Made it 2-2. And another pitch like right over the middle that Olsen's able to hit through. And that's a base hit. And it brings in a run. And now it's Wheeler's fault. Now Wheeler is ruining his own game. And then Austin Riley comes to plate. He gets that was 1 slider. And then I think it was another one that clipped more of the zone that got through. Sorry about that. And then Austin Riley comes to the plate. He gets a 2-0 count because Wheeler's, like falling off a cliff and forgetting how to throw. And Riley is just going to dribble one down the third base line so slowly, and it's able to work, and it's able to get a run home. Alec Boehm was playing so far back, he couldn't get to it. And he's also not the fastest guy in the world, to put it lightly, or to put it nicely. Not the fastest guy in the world. And so Wheeler had to play that. Honestly, a smart play just to pocket it 2-0, and then Darno with a really nice hit up the middle that made it 3-0. And, of course, the Phillies could do absolutely nothing on offense because they used all of their offensive talent in Atlanta on the game 1. Which I guess is important because if they didn't, then they would win none of these games. Which I guess taking the split is better than going 0-2. But definitely taking both in Atlanta would have been much better. Andrew Bellotti and Noah Syndergaard pitched the 7th and 8th. They did really well. Syndergaard gave up a walk, but other than that was the only base runner in those 2 innings. The surprising, somehow 20-win Kyle Wright was the starter for game 2. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. A.J. Minter out of the bullpen. Rhys Iglesias and Kenley Jansen. Kenley was somehow able to close out this game effectively against us because we're sad. Only hits in this one, Real Muto, Harper, and Segura. I forgot to mention, I am not going to go back to game 1, but the team was 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. I hate both of those numbers. 4 runners left on base. Schwarber had 3 strikeouts. He went 0 for 4. Rhys, JT, Bryce, Marsh, and Segura each had strikeouts as well. 8 Ks by the entirety of the Braves staff, which I guess isn't terrible, but it definitely could have been better. So very sad game 2, but guess what? We never lose again in this series, so we get to get that out of the way, and then we get to go to our home games, our first playoff home games in a very long time. Very, very long time. First time since 2011 we have a home game. You have we're talking about the Phil's set guy re-emerging, and just like any sequel to any movie ever, it's just so terrible. God, why did he even try? I would have just preferred just to see a picture of him and just to not hear him speak. That would have been awesome, but sad to say because that video is so funny. But whatever. The Braves made a crucial decision. The Braves had a decision to make for Game 3. If the Braves if the Braves won this game, if the Braves lost, they would have gone with Strider anyway. Strider, especially to me too, Strider was a gimme win, especially because, he completely owned the Phillies during the regular season. But then you remember why he didn't start games 1 or 2. And that's because he was on the 15-day IL. He's coming off injury. There has been no minor leagues for a while now. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. He hasn't really had that much time to pitch in live situations. And so he goes out there, and the greatest sequence of events I've ever seen goes down. I should really just have to say 5 hits on 5 straight pitches. That's really all it is. And honestly, the Braves kind of did it to themselves. Why did this start in the first place? It started because, well, Strider has Marsh on base. And I get why you're scared of Marsh on the base paths. I do. I get the decision to attempt to pick him off. But the idea of throwing it completely behind Olsen and down the first base line is not a good look. Especially because Marsh's speed, he's able to go from first all the way to third. So now you have a runner in scoring position for Stott. And you will never believe it, but Stott actually decides to hit the ball. And Stott hits the ball pretty good. Down the right field line, it gets to the wall. Stott's able to go to second. Marsh scores 1-0 Phillies. And then, oh boy, and then the worst decision in the history of decisions. When I saw this, I couldn't stop but shaking my head. I don't even know if that was correct grammar, but I don't care. Kyle Schwarber comes to the plate. Everyone is afraid of Schwarber. Why? Because of the giant 46 home runs. And, of course, WAR factors in home runs and stuff way too much. So Kyle is able to get his ego up because his WAR's up because he hits a lot of home runs. But strikes out a ton, so that's what happens. Keep in mind that by the time that Schwarber comes to the plate, he has played in 4 games. He has led off every game. He has had at least 4 at-bats in all of these games. He has had 0 hits throughout the start of this postseason. 0. You might have had 2 sac flies, but it still doesn't matter. It's still a giant 0. And these guys decide to intentionally walk him because they also don't think Rhys Hoskins can do anything. Why not just go for Schwarber and then go for Hoskins later? I get that you're setting up the double play, but you don't need to set up the double play if you just get Schwarber out in the first place, which is what has happened in the first 4 games of the postseason. You can do it too, Strider. And not only that, now Rhys comes to the plate. Here. Fastball down the middle. I forget if it was 91 or 93. Slowest fastball he's ever thrown. And Rhys hits it in the left field seats. Bat slam and all. I'm going to show it right now. That right there, that picture is probably one of the most Phillies franchise defining moments in postseason history. That's right up there with Halladay. That's a great strikeout. That is right up there with Roy Halladay's no-hitter. The way that Hoskins just has that energy, it really brings out another form. And that is so nice to see that Strider got owned for that pitch. The Braves got owned for that decision. It came back to bite them, and they lost all momentum because of that. That is why they lost this series. And then it doesn't even end there. Then you have Real Muto getting a base hit through the left side Real Muto dropping one to left center because why not? And then they're like, all right, so I guess yep, shocker. Our injured pitcher that hasn't pitched in 2 weeks without any live pitching sucks. So we're going to get him out now. And they did, and they brought in Dylan Lee. Again, some weird fascination with Dylan Lee. I honestly do not understand it. They pitched Odorizzi before Dylan Lee. Odorizzi is much more established. Why not just go with him? It doesn't matter. They both gave up runs in this game. But the point is Bryce crushed a home run to oblivion. Props for Bryce for actually showing up this year. It's nice to see Bryce actually showing up and, doing the one thing he does in the playoffs. I really, when he won the MVP, I didn't, feel that, home run surge out of him. And now I finally feel that home run surge that I expected when we signed him. but that's great. Bryce makes it 6-0 to cap it off. Castellanos with a base hit to finish off that perfect inning. And then, again, Michael Harris with a ground ball. Braves try to rally. They get 1 run. They make it 6-1. And then Bryce with a double. And then Castellanos, Bryce with a double to get Villarreal home. Move Realmuto to third. It's second and third. Infield's in, and Castellanos poked one through the left side for a base hit. That made it 9, and both runs scored. That made it 9-1. And that is how this game ended. Way better than 3 hits. Aaron Nola started this one, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. But it was unearned because of thanks errors. Because this team still can't throw. Can't do anything properly. No, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Aaron Nola still has a 0 ERA in the postseason. Just saying. Alvarado with 1 inning out of relief from the bullpen. 2 strikeouts for him. Another weird fascination with Alvarado pitching so much, but it makes a little bit of sense because Jose is actually able to get outs without giving up runs. You see the difference? Brad Hand with an inning. He gave up 1 hit, shut it down after that, and Connor Brogdon finished it off in the 9th and sealed it. A 9-1 win for the Phils. Team was 4 for 7. I like that. I like that a lot. With 3 runners left on. 3 RBIs for Rhys, 3 RBIs for Harper, 2 for Castellanos. Castellanos, again, like we said, finally showing up for once in his life. And the Phillies take Game 3. And then we move on to Game 4, which was another blowout. Final score of this one was 8-3. Sorry, did you guys not know that? Kind of slow moving a little bit at first. Again, you get the typical 1, 2, 3 innings in the first from either side. You see that a lot with the Phillies. Noah Syndergaard actually started this one. He only went 3 innings, but again, everybody's innings count is lowered in the postseason. That applies to Thor too. So someone like Thor, who's pitching maybe 5 innings during the regular season, is now getting 3. And he also gave up a home run to Orlando Arcia, so that's not great. Andrew Bellotti came in. He also gave up a run. That was a Matt Olson home run. Brad Hand actually pitched an inning, shut it down in the 5th. Alvarado went an inning, 2/3. He gave up a run, but he still had a great postseason. Still 2 strikeouts, an inning, 2/3. That home run was Travis d'Arnaud. And then Zach Eflin with an inning in 3rd. And Dominguez shut it down in the 9th with the coldest picture I've ever seen. I'm going to show that one to you, too. The little, like, Stephen Curry night-night. I love that. I love that. This team has so much energy, and I'm here for it. I need to stop saying Phillies offense really got started off of a Brandon Marsh Citizens Bank home run. Not that it's sponsored, but that is a Citizens Bank Park home run if I've ever seen one. Just a ball that looks like it should be a routine flyout, just casually goes into the 3rd row, just drops right into the 3rd row. But I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining it wrong. Maybe it was hit a little bit better. But again, home run dominated. Again, the Braves had 3 home runs, and those were the 3 runs. Orlando Arcia in the 3rd, Matt Olson in the 4th, Travis d'Arnaud in the 7th, Brandon Marsh with a 3-run homer, and that cancels out all of them. JT Realmuto with an inside the park home run. He went out. You guys know where the State Farm sign is. This is a big park. It's like in left center field. It's like the wall, like from left field. I need to angle my hand the right way. Is straight through left. There we go. Then kind of cuts back to the center, and then kind of cuts in again and goes to right. So the State Farm sign is on a bit of an angle. So when there we go. So when JT hits the ball, hits off the State Farm sign, and it bounces towards center field. The problem for the Braves was that they kept putting Michael Harris, a rookie center fielder, in at center field. And he doesn't know how to play the State Farm sign. So he ran straight in. He missed the ball. He collides with the wall. The ball was just trickling in the warning track over to right center field. Acuna's just sitting there like, nah, I got better things to do. I got better things like grow the brand. Very Pat McAfee style. And JT, again, the fastest catcher in the, well, maybe not the fastest catcher in the league, but definitely up there. Best catcher in baseball. One of the only ones with speed. He flies around the bases and scores. And that is a 4-1 lead. Again, Matt Olson made it 4-2. 3 straight singles. Rhys, JT, and Bryce each brought in a run. They made it from 4-2 to 5-6, 7-2. Darno, the home run, made it 7-3. And then Bryce, again, with a kind of fluke to the opposite field. Or no. Yeah, to make it 8-3. And then Dominguez shuts it down in the 9th. And the Phillies win 8-3, and they win the NLDS. They had a lot of momentum from the Cardinal series. They brought in the Braves. They had, again, the way, I don't want to use the word magic, but the momentum and the flow of this team is not something that we've seen throughout the regular season, and it's very refreshing to see this team come together. Cohesiveness, there's one. The cohesiveness of this team is very, very nice to see. So again, like we said, couldn't even go one night celebrating this win because the Padres beat the 101 win Dodgers 5-3, coming back in amazing fashion. Props to the Padres on their season as well, without Fernando Tatis. And it's time to break that series down. So, we now talk about the NLCS. Wow, God. Never in my wildest dreams did I actually expect the Philadelphia Phillies to be playing in the National League Championship Series as the first ever 6th seed in the National League. That is... No, I'm not counting 2020. That's kind of ridiculous, but... the first official 6th seed. But, well, I think the Marlins are a 6th seed in 2020, and they won a playoff series. So, goes hand in hand. I see you, Marlins fans. But we talk about this Padres series. Very even as far as the eye can see. Again, we were only separated by a few wins, like 2 wins. I'm going to start in the rotation because they're just so similar. Again, top 2 for each team. Wheeler and Nola. Darvish and Snell. Wheeler and Darvish, the veteran guys who have basically floated from 1 to 3 in a bunch of different systems throughout the years that have finally stuck on and latched on to an ace role. Although I wouldn't even consider them the best pitcher on their team, they have the ace responsibilities. Aaron Nola, Blake Snell, power pitchers. Both are power pitchers. Both love their strikeouts. They both get hit around a little bit, and Nola more than Snell, but they both get hit by the long ball. So, I mean, it happens. So, 1 and 2 are very similar, but I'm going to give the edge to the Phillies in that department. I think Wheeler's a little bit better than Darvish. I think Nola is going to run a few more strikeouts than Blake Snell, and while he might not, like, fully control like himself on the mound, he might give up a few home runs, but I think overall he's still a solid pitcher. Like when you pitch Nola, you know what you're gonna get, and that's what Nola is. The 3rd and 4th pitchers are going to change the tide of the series, and both I'm going to give an advantage to the San Diego Padres. Joe Musgrove is as good as Yu Darvish and as good as Blake Snell, and he's your 3 pitcher. Ranger Suarez, I think Phillies fans can agree, is a great pitcher, is a consistent pitcher, but we don't see him on the same level as Wheeler and Nola. Advantage Padres. Mike Clevinger is the Padres' 4th starter. Again, I get that he fell off a little bit. Actually, same can be said with the Phillies 4th starter, Noah Syndergaard. However, you're going to have more trust in Clevinger. He's actually able to pitch in San Diego and actually stick for a few innings. Advantage Padres. Relief pitching. In the postseason, they're very much the same. When you talk about prestige, I think Josh Hader has a little bit more of it. But the thing about high-end relieving, especially the closer spot like Hader is it only matters if you're winning. That silence is on purpose. So, say the Padres aren't winning, you're not getting Josh Hader. When the Phillies are either winning or losing, again, the Phillies don't have a legitimate closer. They just throw in whoever the hell they want. If they want Dominguez out there for the 7th and Alvarado in the 8th, then they'll do that. If they want Dominguez to pitch 2 innings and then Alvarado in the 9th to try to get a win, they'll do that. They really don't have like a legitimate system, and that I think is crazy enough is what's going to play to their advantage in the series. I think the fact that they don't have that much of a schedule and the fact that they're not holding their closer back because they're only using him in winning situations is why I think the Phillies are going to have the advantage in this game, in that department. So weirdly enough, I know it's weird to talk about the Phillies bullpen being an advantage, but advantage Phillies. Catcher, your JT Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball. Advantage Phillies. I don't even care that Austin's Noah's brother. Advantage Phillies. Will Myers is not a real first baseman. He's a right fielder who just happens to be playing first base. Rhys might not be all that defensively accurate, defensively suited, but he can hit the ball and he can play first base. Advantage Phillies. Cronenworth is having too good of a year to doubt, but Gene Segura is still a great part of this team. Advantage Padres. Manny Machado is a great third baseman. Alec Boehm is not really on the level of Machado. Advantage Padres. Ha-Seong Kim is a very good shortstop. Ha-Seong Kim is one of the best backup shortstops in the league. And again, it's really easy to forget that he's the backup. He's honestly good enough to be a starter. Bryson Stott, really his numbers are all down because of the terrible start under the Girardi era. And Mundo Sosa has been right there with him, carrying this team in the playoffs. As much as I love Stott and Sosa, they're not Ha-Seong Kim, and they do not have the prestige of Ha-Seong Kim. They do not have the consistency at shorts, the consistent production to be on the level of Ha-Seong Kim. Advantage Padres. Left field, literally, if Jurickson Profar just had like any power at all and any consistency, he'd be better than Schwarber. But because he doesn't, the swing and miss happy Schwarber with 0 defense gets the nod. Advantage Phillies. Trent Grisham is on a roll, and I don't really need to say that much more. Advantage Padres, and Soto's much better than Castellanos. Advantage Padres. Again, pitching is going to be really important. I think the Phillies take Game 1. Game 2 is a little bit shaky, but I'm biased. I'm going to go with the Phillies. Games 3 and 4 are Padres game, and then Games 5 and 6 are back. And Games 3 and 4 are Padres game. However, they're in Philadelphia. So honestly, I might give Game 3 to the Phillies. Game 4 to the Padres. Game 5 to the Phillies. You go back to Game 6 with Aaron Nola on the mound. The Phillies are taking that. That's my prediction. Phillies in 6. And with that being said, the Phillies are going to lose in the NLCS. So yeah, I'm actually a jinx. And that is going to do it for this episode. Again, another basically double episode, but that's what you get for the playoffs. Make sure to follow and subscribe to wherever you listen. If you can see me, hello, and those should be showing up for you right now. And remember, even if the pitching staff falls off a cliff, even if the offense goes back to only getting 3 hits a game, even if we just forget pitches like Wheeler does sometimes against the Padres, keep your heads high, because it's always sunny in South Philadelphia. So this is coming out on Wednesday. My plan is to talk about Penn State's horrific loss to Michigan tomorrow on Thursday, and then get the Eagles-Dallas game out of the way on Friday. And if you are Penn State's playing primetime on Saturday. So Penn State on Sunday. And then Eagles will be early next week, and the Phillies series, whenever it ends, we'll talk about it. So, I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, sorry, one last thing that I completely forgot while I was editing is that I forgot Philly of the Week. And I'm not going to go too in depth on it because this is already 40 minutes long. We'll clinch it by the time we go over this. But the Philly of the week is going to go to Seranthony Dominguez. He pitched 3 innings during the NLDS, and he got 6 strikeouts, including a huge save and a huge 2 innings in, I believe, game 2. So, here's your Philly of the week, and I'll let you go, guys. See you tomorrow.